Assalamu guys, Ifan back again with another video, and in this video what we are going to be looking at is supposing you have some data that you want to have a graph, and you would want to have what you would traditionally use is a bar graph, but in this instance what you want is you don't want the bars to show up, you would want pictures to show instead of bars. So how would you go about doing that? So that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. So let's get started. Now, for the sake of this video, what we are going to assume is that we are doing a, you're doing a graph of the annual sales in dollars for four different manufacturers of electronics. So let's put in some data. So that's the, we'll have the names of the manufacturers show up in here, and annual sales in $1 million. Okay, that will show up in the second column. So we have manufacturer number one, okay, and then we have manufacturer number two, and then we have manufacturer number three, and manufacturer number four. All right, now let's assume that manufacturer one, the annual sales is 80 million. For manufacturer two is let's make it 60 million. For the third is 78 million, and the fourth is 90 million. Okay, so that's your four manufacturers in this column here, and column B gives you the annual sales figures, okay, for each manufacturer. Okay, now what we want to do is, like I said in the beginning of this video, we would want to have a graph, sort of like a bar graph, but instead of bars, we would want pictures to show up. Okay, so let's see how we'll go about doing that. So first what we'll do is we'll highlight this data so we can we know that this is the data that we are going to be graphing. Then you go up to insert, and over here where you have the graphs, let's select the bar graph. Okay, let me just zoom out. All right, so you have got manufacturer 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you've got these bars that show their each respective sales. Okay, I'm just going to do a right click and just add data labels. Okay, so now we can see manufacturer 1 is 80 million, manufacturer 2 is 60 million, manufacturer 3 is 78 million, and manufacturer 4 is 90 million. Okay, so if we've got that done, if we've got a graph now, but the problem is these are showing up as bars. We do not want this to show up as bars. We want these to show up as images, as pictures. Okay, so the way you do that is you click it, you left click on these bars once, do this to a single click, see how all of them get highlighted, and then you do a right click and you select the option format data series. Okay, now if you had more than one type of columns that were being graphed, so you could have or more than one data type, you could have primary Excel, secondary Excel, but there's only one data that you're graphing, so these are grayed out. Okay, now that's the first option. The second option gives you if you want a shadow or glow or soft edges or 3D formatting, but the option that we are going to be using is this fill, this option here, and we'll go into the fill. Now if I were to say no fill, okay, right now because you are selected you can see these lines, outlined lines, but if I click outside it you cannot see the graph anymore because there's no fill. Okay, if you were to do a solid fill, you can then go here and select whichever color you want this fill to be. okay? And then obviously you can also have a border, okay? Now, but that's not the intention of this video. Now what we want to do is we want to replace these bars with images, okay? So what we'll do is, instead of using no fill or solid fill, we'll use this option here, picture or texture fill. So select that and see how it changes that that solid color into like a texture. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to select this option here, picture source, click on insert. Okay, you can have it image downloaded from the net, or you can have saved on the cloud, or you can have it on your hard drive. Okay, so let's go to, I've got this image already set up. And now, if you notice, what that has done is it's actually an image of a chip. If you see, that's the image that we have. It's a 555 timer. I just thought it would be appropriate for this, since we're talking about electronics. I'll just use an image of a chip. Now, excuse me. If you notice, it's still not doing what we wanted to do, because what has happened is this image of this chip has just stretched across. Okay, so it does not, this does not, you cannot tell that this is 90 or this is 78 or this is 60 or 980. What we want to do is we want to have multiple images of chips show up so that we can count them and get an idea what the value would be. Okay, so the way you do that is you go back to the data format series, and you selected the picture using this option here. The picture option was here, and then you use this option to select the picture. Now what you do is you do stack and scale with. Select this, and there you have it. Okay, now what has happened is the value is so big that all the chips are kind of getting squished. So let's just make this an 8, this a 6, this a 7, and this a 9. There you go. See how now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chips. So value of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Value of 7. This is 6 and this is 8. Okay. And the way we did that is we selected this here. Okay. Now, supposing we did not have the luxury of changing this 80, making this 60 and 78 and 90. See how this is also squished, that it's hard to see. Now we go back here. Oops, sorry, let me select this. This is units per picture. Okay, what we'll do is instead of 1, we will do 10. Okay, so basically what it's doing is it's using one picture for every 10 units. Okay, so you did not have to mess with these values, and what you did was you changed the scaling, and one picture is worth 10 units. Okay, so 90 units means 9 pictures, because each picture is 10 units. 78, this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is more towards 80, so that's what's showing a full chip. This is 60 and this is 90. Okay, so that's essentially how you can have images show up as instead of bars. Now this is interesting that you could have, say for example, if you're doing a graph of the housing industry, instead of chips, you could have images of houses, and it just makes you, if you're using this in a presentation or in a research paper, it just makes your research paper or your presentation a little more lively, a little more interesting, that you have using pictures or images instead of just a boring bar graph. So that's essentially how you would do that. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please kindly give it a thumbs up, And if you like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and please also make sure that you hit that bell icon so you'll always receive a notification when new videos are uploaded. All right, thank you very much.